16 psychological life hacks worth their weight in gold, generously shared by internet users. Our brain loves to do various tricks, and not always in our favor. But if you know certain tricks, then you can bypass some unpleasant tasks that our psyche throws at us. For example, how to remember why you came into this room, or how to cool the ardor of a person yelling at you. Or how to understand that your interlocutor may be hiding something from you. If someone starts to attack without reason, to scatter and yell without reason, then I sit with a detached face and look away. When the monologue ends, after a moment I say, "I was thinking." Did you say something? These are the faces of people. They are ready to jump out of their pants. Mostly they turn around and leave, and some repeat, but without yelling. For a long time, I was unlucky in relationships. For a long time I tried to understand why I didn't see any bad signs at the very beginning. My neighbor helped me in this case. We were discussing this with her once, and she gave me some advice: watch how he behaves with the service staff. And also when you talk and touch on the topic of past relationships, pay attention to how he speaks about his exes. Believe me, as soon as you start doing this, you will immediately understand everything. And I started using it. One suitor treated the service staff like trash, and I simply saw that if we lived together, he would treat me the same way. The second one was not guilty in all his past relationships, but all his partners were mercenary deceivers. And soon the conclusions were confirmed, they showed their faces, and we said goodbye. I just don't understand how I could not notice this before. The advice is not just practical, but brilliant and incredibly useful. You can't tell me how many nerves I now save myself. Speak confidently, and you will be believed. Because it rarely matters whether you really know what you are talking about. You know, I noticed one interesting thing. If I can't make a choice and both options seem absolutely equally tempting to me, I toss a coin. But I don't watch it fall. Because while it is still in the air, I suddenly catch myself wanting a specific side to fall. It is at this very moment that it becomes clear what exactly I want. And it doesn't matter what falls. It is the flight, and not the result of the coin falling, that allows me to make a decision. Whenever I feel afraid of something, be it injections, speaking in front of colleagues, dental treatment, I think that in an hour or the next day at the same time I will feel much better and life will go on calmly. I have been doing this for several years, and it always helps. If your loved one came home from work after a hard day at work, give him an hour to himself, just don't bother him. Don't pounce on him with your questions and problems if they are not urgent. Believe me, in an hour he will be much more receptive to your words and his efficiency will be much higher. I told my children that I am afraid of the vacuum cleaner. When they are angry with me, they vacuum. It's amazing. I'm not sure if it's a psychological trick, but I like it. When I screw up really badly, my wife doesn't yell at me. She just talks to me, as always, but there is no affection or tenderness in her words. You can't even touch her, because she immediately smiles calmly and pulls me up. If I yelled, well, he would realize it, let off steam and it would pass, but no, this way I feel like a fool. I am a recruiter in a large IT company. And to be honest, despite the company policy, I couldn't get the salary increase I deserved, no matter how hard I tried. Until one day I remembered the advice of our old professor from the department. It was very simple and brilliant: pretend that you are busy. And I decided to follow it. I started going to the cafeteria with papers, the table was also all over them. In general, I was engaged in various vigorous activities. And you know what? I got a promotion. For a long time, I didn't really enjoy life, but simply existed. Although at the same time everything seemed to be fine, I couldn't enjoy it. And then I saw the word regularity somewhere in an advertising banner. I don't know why, but it stuck in my head. I thought, what if I see everything in a bad light and it will be regular that I get everything this way? I decided to immediately test my guess. Not, I'm bad, I didn't keep an eye on it, but I learned a lesson and now I know that I need to be more careful here. Not, damn, I'm a loser, but, oh well, it will be better then, it means it's not my thing. And it wasn't an excuse or pity, rather an expression of love and self-understanding. And I also started smiling more often. I go out into the street smiling, I talk on the phone smiling at the same time. And you know what? Life became easier. And as for me, it really was a pattern. I work with kids. Instead of asking them to do something, I give them options. Do you want to get dressed here in the living room or in your bedroom? Do you want to brush your teeth before or after you pick up your toys? This usually works, especially when they're toddlers going through the automatic no phase. When you're feeling down, write down a list of 5 to 10 things you're grateful for. It'll instantly boost your mood. Also, if you tend to dwell on the negative, start trying to find the positive. Example, I don't want to cook dinner, I'm happy I have the opportunity to cook and access food. Walked into a room and forgot why. Walk back out and re-enter the room. Still can't remember? Go back to your starting point, or the front door of your house, and go into that room again. It's not perfect, but it will help you remember. Something about walking through doorways can make us forget why we entered the room in the first place. Taking a step back can help trigger that memory. Say hello to everyone you know and smile at them. Often people who have known each other since elementary school or just from the neighborhood when they were young will smile awkwardly at each other instead of happily greeting each other. Imagine if someone bumped into you twice a year and both times you smiled and greeted them enthusiastically, they would think of you as a nice person. It takes so little effort for a person to find you friendly. I have only one, but the most effective life hack for saving relationships. When I am angry at my loved one and want to be offended, upset and cherish my own pride, I give myself 10 minutes to express my emotions alone. And then I remember how much I love him, how much he has done for me, that he was always there when I was feeling bad and having a hard time, that I truly trust him infinitely. Resentment and anger disappear as if by magic, and relationships do not deteriorate over trifles. One of my friends taught her daughter to wash dishes in a very unusual way. Once again, when she came home and saw a mountain in the sink, she calmly asked why they had not been washed, and having received the answer, "Whoever needs to wash it, let him wash it," my friend took and threw this whole mountain of dishes out the window. That's it, now everything is washed regularly. What psychological life hacks do you know?